I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. There is nothing impossible to him who will try. A tomb now suffices him for whom the world was not enough. I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. When we give someone our time, we actually give a portion of our life that we will never get back. Through every generation of the human race, there has been a constant war, a war with fear. Those who have the courage to conquer it are made free, and those who are conquered by it are made to suffer until they have the courage to defeat it, or death takes them. But truly, if I were not Alexander, I would be Diogenes. Now that the wars are coming to an end, I wish you to prosper in peace. May all mortals from now on live like one people in concord and for mutual advancement. Consider the world as your country, with laws common to all, and where the best will govern irrespective of tribe. I do not distinguish among men as the narrow-minded do, both among Greeks and barbarians. I am not interested in the descendants of their citizens or their racial origins. I classify them using one criterion: their virtue. For me, every virtuous foreigner is a Greek, and every evil Greek worse than a barbarian. If differences ever develop between you, never have recourse to arms, but solve them peacefully. If necessary, I should be your arbiter. Sex and sleep alone make me conscious that I am mortal. Upon the conduct of each depends the fate of all. There are no more worlds to conquer. Now you fear punishment and beg for your lives, so I will let you free, if not for any other reason, so that you can see the difference between a Greek king and a barbarian tyrant. So do not expect to suffer any harm from me. A king does not kill messengers. My treasure lies in my friends. If it were not my purpose to combine barbarian things with Hellenic, to traverse and civilize every continent, to search out the uttermost parts of land and sea, to push the bounds of Macedonia to the farthest ocean, and to disseminate and shower the blessings of Hellenic justice and peace over every nation, I should not be content to sit quietly in the luxury of idle power, but I should emulate the frugality of Diogenes. But as things are, forgive me, Diogenes, that I imitate Heracles and emulate Perseus and follow in the footsteps of Dionysus. Hellenes should dance again in India and revive the memory of the Bacchic revels among the savage mountain tribes beyond the Caucasus. Our enemies are Medes and Persians, men who for centuries have lived soft and luxurious lives. We of Macedon, for generations past, have been trained in the hard school of danger and war. Above all, we are free men, and they are slaves. There are Greek troops, to be sure, in Persian service, but how different is their cause from ours? They will be fighting for pay, and not much of it at that. We, on the contrary, shall fight for Greece, and our hearts will be in it. As for our foreign troops, Thracians, Paeonians, Illyrians, they are the best and stoutest soldiers in Europe, and they will find as their opponents the slackest and softest of the tribes of Asia. And what, finally, of the two men in supreme command? You have Alexander, they Darius. Each moment, free from fear, makes a man immortal. Glory crowns the deeds of those who expose themselves to toils and dangers. As for a limit to one's labors, I, for one, do not recognize any for a high-minded man, except that the labors themselves should lead to noble accomplishments. Holy shadows of the dead, I am not to blame for your cruel and bitter fate, but the accursed rivalry which brought sister nations and brother people to fight one another. I do not feel happy for this victory of mine. On the contrary, I would be glad, brothers, if I had all of you standing here next to me, since we are united by the same language, the same blood, and the same visions. Youth of Greece, join your fellow soldiers and entrust yourselves to me, so that we can move against the barbarians and liberate ourselves from the Persian bondage. For as Greeks, we should not be slaves to barbarians. For my part, I think that to a man of spirit there is no other aim and end of his labors except the labors themselves. When you bury my body, don't build any monument, and keep my hands outside, so that the world knows that the person who won the whole world had nothing in his hand while dying. There are so many worlds, and I have not yet conquered even one. When my casket is being carried to the grave, leave my hands hanging outside, for empty-handed I came into this world, and empty-handed I shall go. My whole life has been a hollow waste, a futile exercise, for no one at death can take anything with them.